I'm Julie. Please forgive my disheveled appearance. I have been cleaning and working all morning. Chores galore. But in the midst of this, as I have been sorting through things to take to the thrift store, we have a thrift store run today. We set up an appointment yesterday. I loaded the van. Olivia and I are going to go drop that off today. So excited to get all that gone. No, I did not end up doing another yard sale. With all the madness of the last month or two, there was just no way that was going to happen. And now we have forecasted snow coming soon, because of course we do. And I just need my driveway cleared. So getting rid of all of that, taking it to donate, and then offering out a bunch of other things to family, friends, and neighbors. And hopefully we'll get the rest of it moved out by this weekend. Wish me luck. But in the midst of doing all that, I came up with what might be a crazy project. So context. I love upcycling and repurposing. One of my favorite things. And sometimes I can get overwhelmed with all the stuff that I bring in. I've been being more picky and choosy about, what I use. But we've come to a situation where I absolutely have to utilize everything that I have. So we do Dia de los Muertos. I am half Mexican, many of you know, and we celebrate the life of my daddy and other relatives who have passed on. We started that tradition after my dad passed away almost 6 years ago. Well, now my niece, rest in peace, is buried next to my dad. And so we're, of course, going to do our usual extravaganza. But here's the problem, and this is where all of this creativeness comes into play. We spent a lot of money on the funeral. Right? On flowers. We didn't do like a funeral, but on the graveside service, we did flowers and all that fun stuff. And then of course there was traveling, which all adds up. You guys understand. And so normally the money that we would spend on getting fresh flowers and those kinds of things for our ofrenda, our big shrine thing that we do, those funds are not available, which is okay, because that's where you have to really dig in and get creative. And it's also where dumpster diving and saving and salvaging comes into play, because we have tons of fake flowers, and I had totes and totes of them that I was gonna sell in the yard sale. Hallelujah, I didn't sell them in a yard sale. Now I still have them. My sweet mother, I'm so excited, is coming over to visit tonight, and we are going to be making plans for our Day of the Dead, extravaganza that we're doing, and it's going to involve all of these flowers that I was able to save, which is great because then we can reuse them year after year. The problem there, of course, they do take up space to be stored, but I'm thinking these are something that's worth being stored just because it will save us money year after year. And just like Christmas decorations or Halloween, we will use them every year. So let me show you the potentially crazy idea I've got into my little head. So I got out all these totes. Now this one is just jewelry stuff. And of course, all this was out for the yard sale. I'm gonna see if my mom wants any of this. Otherwise, I don't know, I'll figure something else out. And then these are 3 totes full of flowers, obviously. And then this is a tote of things that I'm just offering to my mom, yarn and fabrics, some of which, though, we might use in our ofrenda. And then a couple of things that I needed to return to her. And then this tote full of miscellaneous ribbons, that all of this is, of course, from the dumpsters. Yes, all of these brand new rolls of ribbon. And though I was excited to get rid of all this and have it out of here, here's the thing. I will be crafting forever. That's just what I do. And all of our craft store dumpsters, many of you know, have been locked. So all of this fabulous ribbon that I normally would count on getting from the craft store dumpsters, that avenue has dried up. So I'm now not in a hurry to declutter and get rid of all these, knowing now there's not going to be more coming in. There will still be the occasional ribbon, maybe from the Michaels dumpster because theirs isn't locked, maybe from the dollar store dumpsters, but not the volume that we had been bringing in. And so I am totally okay with keeping not only the ribbon, but also the flowers the way it had been before. I know I'm a little off track, but let me explain. The way it had been before, I was bringing in, you guys know this if you've been with us for a while, I was bringing a tote worth of flowers in every 2 weeks. And so I had to constantly be cycling through and moving them on. That is no longer the case. So I do feel like it is justifiable and reasonable to hold on to them. Not only that, a lot of these, we will, I know, look how dirty these are. They were out in the shed. A lot of these are absolutely perfect. Look at these colors for our Day of the Dead display. Yeah, look at that. We will end up using probably that whole tote and maybe even these other ones. I don't know. But here's the crazy idea. So picture it and tell me if I'm insane or if you can picture in your imagination what I'm trying to do here. I've got these two frames and I know I've got one more in the attic that we recently recovered from Michael's, and I was a little nervous about taking them because you guys know I've been getting rid of frames. I also have several more smaller frames that are out in the driveway ready to go on the next load to the Deseret Industries donation. The van is full, but I am gonna have to take one more load after that, like a half load. Anyway, so I've got these two frames, the other big one in the attic, and then smaller ones. This is a crazy idea that I'm thinking. Okay, here we go. Wrapping the frames in ribbon. I have several huge rolls of wide red ribbon, which would be perfect, but also all this other ribbon, wrapping them in the ribbon and then going crazy with the flowers all around them. And I'm not sure how it would be set up. I don't know yet if they will just be laid on the table and maybe some propped up. I don't know, but that is the idea that this crazy little brain has come up with at this point. Flower-filled, ribbon-wrapped frames. And then, so they'll have flowers all the way around and then maybe some ribbon like bows or whatever kind of placed strategically around it in and amongst the flowers. That's the idea. Stay tuned to see how all this madness turns out. I can already picture it in my head, but often the things that I come up with, they don't necessarily translate well to everybody else. So please tell me, my frugal friends, especially those with the creative bug, can you picture what I'm talking about? Anyway, whatever we end up figuring out, and our whole ofrenda, we will of course show you what that looks like and how it turns out, and of course how much of it has been facilitated and provided for with dumpster diving. Have a wonderful day, frugal friends. If you have not yet subscribed, there's a button to do that, and hey, there's also some thumbs up and thumbs down. We'd prefer thumbs up if you happen to have the time, but either one will do. And if you feel so inclined, please do share. Let's spread the message of saving and salvaging, but also of being creative with our resources. Have a wonderful day. Happy Halloween, happy fall, happy October, and we'll see you all real soon.